Top story this evening, it's feared that up to 5 people may be trapped after the top floors of a building collapsed in central London. Tons of rubble crashed to the street below, but only one person was slightly hurt. The building, which is close to the Houses of Parliament, was being renovated. Well, Sky's Rose Gretton is at the scene for us, and Rose, bring us up to date on those that may be trapped and the efforts to release them.
Well, the sources that I have spoken to on the ground have said that they believe possibly up to 5 people may be trapped inside. Now, we've already had confirmed that one person is trapped inside, a workman possibly, but I have heard from sources on the ground that it may be up to 5, or I have to emphasise that has not yet been confirmed. Now, you might be able to see I'm standing on the junction of Victoria Street and Dean Farah Street where it happened, and we can pan up to the building that collapsed. Now, it was the top 2 floors, we believe. The emergency services received a call at around 4 o'clock this afternoon. We had 7 fire engines, 3 fire and rescue vehicles, 2 urban search and rescue vehicles, and over 50 firefighters attending the scene. Now, initially we had reports that one person was injured and was taken to hospital where they were treated for minor injuries, and as we then heard, there was one person we found out trapped inside, but as we now know, that may be up to 5 people.
No doubt at around 4 p.m. the area would have been very busy with pedestrians on the street, but what's thought to have actually happened?
Well, that is yet to be confirmed, but the police say at the moment they believe it was a structural collapse. They don't believe that there were any suspicious circumstances. I believe there were eyewitnesses at the time who talked about a blast, but that may have simply been the impact of the building collapsing. And we, in fact, spoke to one eyewitness earlier who explained to Sky News exactly what happened.
I think we just heard a loud, well, not quite loud, we thought it was a low plane. And then we all looked at each other, and then we looked out and someone said, oh, there's a building which collapsed just now over at Dean Farah Street. And we went over to the other side of the building and we actually saw the rubbles. And it was quite extensive, I think. I think some of the colleagues went out to the roof to actually see from the roof of our building over to that building. And yeah, it was quite impressive, really.
Well, the priority now will obviously be to get those who are trapped inside out as quickly and as safely as possible. You might also be able to see that the cordon is gradually shrinking. I think the police are trying to open up one lane, certainly on Victoria Street, so that traffic and pedestrians can get exactly back to normal.
Rose, thank you very much indeed. More obviously from you later when there are developments. Thank you. So to our top story this evening, police say at least one person is trapped after the top floors of a building collapsed in central London. Tons of debris crashed to the street below, but only one person was slightly hurt. Well, the building, which is close to the Houses of Parliament, was being renovated. Let's get the very latest now. I'm joined from the scene by Brendan McAlone from London Fire Brigade. Thanks very much indeed for joining us. We had heard that up to 5 people could be trapped in the building. Can you discount that now? What's the latest you're hearing?
Yeah, we've become aware of these reports, and both ourselves and the police and the London Ambulance Service are only dealing with one casualty.
And are you in communication with that one person?
Yeah, we've managed to establish, we've been in communication with them since we arrived, but it was very muffled, obviously because there's debris between us and the casualty. What we have done now is crews are working along the corridor underneath, assuring us as they go along, and we're trying to put holes in through the ceiling to put small cameras and listening devices. We've also got a line rescue team working above, so it gives us an option of removing the casualty from above on a sling. What we can do, now that we're establishing good communications, is ensure the nature of his injuries and whether we'll need any assistance from our colleagues and the paramedics.
Have you any idea where he is now, and more importantly, where he was? Do we know if he dropped a couple of floors, for example?
Now, all we're concerned with at the moment is that the casualty's on the 3rd floor. Now, how he got there and whether he started on the 3rd or fell to the 3rd, that will come out as part of the investigation, which I imagine will be conducted in conjunction with the police and the Health and Safety Executive. Our concern and priority at the moment is just to remove the casualty as quickly and as safely as we can.
Right. How hazardous are the conditions at the moment for you working there? What is the risk of more debris collapsing?
Sorry, can you repeat that? It's very, very bad interference.
Yes, of course I can. How hazardous are the conditions for you currently working there at the moment? How dangerous are the conditions?
I'm sorry, I want to get his interference.
Are you? Apologies about that. You obviously got some problems hearing us. Can you hear me now, Mr. McAlone? No, apologies. Well, obviously some difficulty there. So the latest we heard that one person is trapped, that the fire brigades and the rescue teams are in communication with that man. He's on the 3rd floor. They need to ascertain his injuries, try and work out a way of getting him out. Mr. McAlone, are you still there?
Yeah, I can just about hear you.
Hello, sorry about our sound problems. It's obviously some difficulty with the high buildings in the area. I was just asking how hazardous and dangerous are the conditions for you, the rescue services, working in this collapsed building now?
The condition of the building has been very, very unstable. We've had to take expert advice from building officers from Westminster Council. The crews are still working in a very hazardous environment, but they are working extremely hard to shore up. We're trying to make this environment as safe as we possibly can, and obviously as safe for the casualty, so we can remove him.
I understand that you had specialist urban search and rescue teams on the scene. Is that right? And what do they do?
I'm sorry, you're breaking up again.
All right, then we'll leave it there. I do apologise about that. Brendan McAlone from the London Fire Brigades. Obviously a very difficult environment for them to work on, as you can see from these pictures. The 2 floors collapsed in this building. It's where the Labour Party chairman, Hazel Blears, has her offices as well. And certainly she'd have been in there with a number of MPs. She running for the deputy leadership of the Labour Party. But you can see there the damage to that building. One person we heard confirmed there is still trapped. They don't yet know how seriously he is injured, but every effort is being made to remove him from the scene. We'll keep an eye on that story and bring you the very latest on that as soon as we can. It is Sky's Rose Gretton.